You think trust is built through team building events or honest conversations or being consistent. Neuroscience says something completely different. Trust isn't just a feeling, it's also a molecule. And if your team isn't producing it, nothing you say will matter. Here's what's actually happening and how to fix it. I'm Melanie from Leadership Coaching Outdoors, and I worked with leaders who spent years trying to build trust the wrong way. They said, for example, my door is always open, more times than they could count, and their team still didn't trust them. Not because they were difficult, because they were speaking a language their brain didn't recognize. Because trust isn't built by just talking, it's built by chemistry. And once my clients understood that, everything changed. Here's what's happening inside your team's brain every single day. Trust is powered by a molecule called oxytocin. You may have heard of it as the love hormone, but in leadership, it's the trust molecule. And Dr. Paul Zach's research at Claremont shows something remarkable. When oxytocin flows in the brain, people become more generous, more cooperative, more willing to take social risks, like speaking honestly to their boss. But here's what most leaders don't know. Oxytocin isn't produced by declarations. You can't say, I want you to feel safe, and expect a molecule to respond. So oxytocin is produced by signals, small, repeated biological signals that tell the brain, you're safe here. You belong here, and this person is not a threat. And your brain is reading those tiny signals every second, long before you open your mouth. Now here's what most leaders get completely wrong though. You ask, how do I build more trust in my team? But the right question is, what am I doing that's blocking oxytocin without realizing it? Because research shows something critical. Trust isn't destroyed by big betrayals, it's eroded by micro signals. So if you check your phone while someone is talking to you, oxytocin drops. If you say, good job, but your face says, whatever, oxytocin drops. And if the last person who brought bad news got a cold response, every brain in the room just recorded that. Your team isn't untrusting, their brains are protecting them from inconsistency. In mountaineering, there's a practice called belaying. When your partner is climbing above you, you hold the rope that catches them if they fall. And here's what matters. It's actually not the rope that creates trust. It's not even the knot in the rope. It's the small, consistent tension. So too loose, they feel abandoned. Too tight, they feel controlled. And just right, and they climb with freedom because they know without looking down, someone is holding the rope. And that's what oxytocin is. It's the biological rope between you and your team. So not a speech, not a workshop, a signal that says, I've got you. So what do you actually do? I want to give you a simple framework. I call it the B.E.L.A.Y protocol. So 5 signals that trigger oxytocin in your team's brain. Let's start with B, belonging before business, before the agenda, before the metrics, connect. Now, how was your weekend while typing your email? A real eye contact, real presence. Oxytocin releases through eye contact, not through just words. So 30 seconds of genuine attention at the start of every interaction. That's the signal. E, eye-level engagement. When you talk to a team member, are you standing while they sit? Are you behind your desk while they're on the other side? Get on the same level, physically. The brain reads height differences as power differences. And power differences suppress oxytocin. So pull up a chair or walk side by side. Same level, same signal. L, listen without fixing. When someone brings you a problem, your brain wants to solve it. Don't. Not yet. First, let them finish. And then say more about that. When the brain learns that speaking leads to being heard, not being fixed, oxytocin flows. A, acknowledge before responding. Before you give your opinion, acknowledge theirs. I hear you. Or, that makes sense. I hadn't thought of it that way. So acknowledgement is not agreement, it's a signal that says, your brain is safe here. Why? Yield the floor. After you speak, stop. Count to 5, 7. Most leaders feel silence within 3 seconds, and that's not a conversation, that's a monologue with pauses. When you yield, you give the other brain permission to engage, and engagement is the biological proof of trust. Now here's what I want you to remember from all this. Trust isn't a leadership skill, it's a biological response. And you can't talk your way into it, you can only signal your way into it. The oxytocin your team produces is the real metric of your leadership. Not what you say, not what you plan, what their brain feels when you walk into the room. Here's your drill for this week. In your next one-on-one, sit down first. Let them sit across from you and then move your chair to the same level. Start with 30 seconds of some eye contact before you say anything about work. And when they speak, don't respond for several seconds. Just listen. Watch what happens to the conversation and watch what happens to trust. Belay. Belonging, eye level, listen, acknowledge, and yield. I'm Melanie. If this changed how you think about trust, subscribe to Leadership Coaching Outdoors. Understand the brain, lead your team, come outside. See you next time.